hair. This is my dream hair. But yeah, I thought I'd sit down and chat a bit because we haven't really done that recently. I've been busy, enjoying life, working on projects, doing shop updates and whatnot, Patreon. So I haven't really had time nor motivation to kind of film until right now, where I'm kind of... The door is ringing, hold on. So I haven't really had much motivation or time to film, but right now I'm kind of working on one project almost exclusively. So basically it's a client project, and after getting the client's consent, I'm going to kind of take you through the process of how I approached this project, and how things were discussed, how I'm putting it together, and show you some snippets of like what's going on. Because okay, now I'm really back. Basically, I didn't get the doorbell the first time it rang, and I thought that they had left, but they hadn't. But basically, I'm back. Anyways, so client project. This is basically going to be an image for a newly opened hair salon. We basically discussed the process. I gave her a couple of concept images. Some were more like pattern style, and a couple of the concept images was more of an independent illustration. I'll include like rough sketches here. And she ended up going with a full-on pattern style, so she can use this image for like any future business cards or whatnot. And we also discussed a lot about like what flowers she wanted to include, because it was very clear that she wanted like a botanical, like lush spring kind of vibe. The way that we approached the flowers was she wanted something that would reflect or symbolize families and like togetherness, because the community that she's in is also about unity, and it has a lot of families nearby. I did some research into like flower symbology, flower language, and gave her a couple of options. We ended up deciding to go with a peony, because a peony also symbolizes family in a way, and also symbolizes like abundance and richness, which is something that, you know, you want to make money if you open a hair salon. So that was what we ended up with. And the way that I'm approaching this project is I'm going to be creating all the individual elements, like the peonies, the leaves, and then extra additional flowers separately, and then arrange them together to create a pattern on my computer. The reason I'm doing it this way is because A, there's more flexibility in how we arrange the flowers and everything, so as opposed to like one image throughout. And secondly, it's simply because the size that we wanted the illustration to be, I can't do it completely on my iPad, so I have to move it to my computer to kind of create all the layers and whatnot. And by creating all the individual elements separately and then doing that, it'll just be easier that way. So what we're doing is, I'm on a time crunch here because, well, we're on a time crunch, but basically I've created a couple of the individual elements, like this peony for example, and I really like it. I've done kind of a more watercolor, semi-realistic style here with a bit of like my line work. And that's the style we're going to use throughout the whole illustration. So we have the main peonies done. I did 2 of them. And then right now what we're going to do is we're going to finish the leaf illustrations and a couple of the tiny filler flower illustrations. And then once we arrange it and everything's done, we'll see if there's anything else that we need and whatnot. And hopefully we'll have it done within the next 2 to 3 weeks. of days. I finished all the elements, and I'm going to include essentially videos, clippings of what I'm going to do, but I have all the elements kind of individual in different layers, and what we're just going to do is going in to like rearrange everything and create different layouts, send to the client, and see what they think. Yeah, I know I'm wearing like essentially the same outfit, but it's my cozy outfit and it works, and I am very tired. So it's been a couple of days since I sent the arranged files to the client, and we had some bit of back and forth on mild adjustments, which were all really easy to make, considering that I had already prepped all the elements individually, and I could just rearrange them according to or adjust the size of the elements according to the client's needs and specifications. We had a couple of discussions before. I think I shared the rough concept images we had. And from there, the end result kind of diverted a bit. The initial idea I had for them was kind of too dramatic. That's the word. And then we toned it down from there. So I'm going to show you a couple of images that I sent to the client, just to kind of give you an idea of what the project looks like. You kind of see the row on the top is a lighter version. The row on the bottom is the darker version. I personally prefer the darker version. I think it makes the flowers pop more, has a bit of a mysterious vibe, but we also added the option of a lighter version on there just because the client wanted it to be more approachable. We wanted the lighter version to have it be more approachable, more friendly, less dramatic, less mysterious. And yeah, that's kind of thinking behind the two color schemes. Hi, so editing Daphne here. I thought I'd clarify a bit on this section because when I was recording it, I was off on a tangent. For each client project, we have a couple round of revisions, and this one was the last round of revision where I ended up sending the client these 6 images where they could choose one of the 6 to be the final image. I just want to clarify that normally it doesn't include this many final images, and the rounds of editing are usually more minor, but because this one was easy, A, it was easy to do, and B, this client is also a personal friend. The stylist, she's also been doing my hair for years, so there are exceptions to this. But basically, after all the feedback, revisions, and discussions, she chose one to be the final images, which I would send over the high quality print file for. So yeah, so just to clarify, the client gets 1 image rather than 6 in total. Because it is a very large billboard, so the way that the flowers were painted, even if they're blown up to the flower is 40 centimeters or 50 centimeters, you're still able to see a lot of detail in them, to see a lot of the painting stuff. So there's always something quite intriguing for one, because the finished size of this will be, I think, 85 centimeters by 120. So yeah, that was also something that we took into consideration when designing this as well. So we didn't simplify the flowers too much as I would if it was a 30 centimeter tall piece or something like that. So yeah, that's kind of the thinking behind this client work and kind of the process, an overview of what the process looks like. I think this is one of my favorite client projects so far because A, I'm working with a client that I really enjoy. I had quite a bit of leeway on what to do, and it was just really fun being able to paint flowers and leaves, things that I really enjoy for this client work, and the whole aesthetic at the end also falls in line with what I like to do as well. So yeah, I mean, I hope to see more of these client projects in the future. So send client vibes. For now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna focus on more personal projects for the end of the year and relax a bit, do some personal painting, which is something I haven't done in a while now. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Bye.